Namaste and Jai Jalaram. I'm humbled by the kind introduction from Priti-Ben and honored to be invited to the Silver Jubilee celebrations of this iconic Mandir and Community Centre in Leicester, the first purpose-built Jalaram temple in this country. Pramod Bhai shared with me some of the pages of the souvenir publication which is being launched today to coincide with this 25th anniversary. The contents capture the journey of this organization from small beginnings to a vibrant and indispensable hub serving the entire community at the heart of the most multicultural city in the UK. The inspiration for your activities comes from the noble, universal human values exemplified by Shree Jalaram Bapa and Virbai Ma, who in so many ways were ahead of their time. Whilst today's business schools might be theorizing about the virtues of servant leadership, this was being practiced 200 years ago in the small village of Virpur in Gujarat, and has since spread into a global movement. I was therefore delighted to see the initiative taken last year to connect the international network of Jalaram temples into a global platform, reaching a worldwide audience through the use of broadcast and social media. What has been accomplished at this Mandir in terms of promoting Hindu values, interfaith understanding, community cohesion, voluntary service, helping the homeless, providing nutritious meals, health awareness campaigns, environmental initiatives, disaster relief, and engaging the next generation, to name just a few activities, is truly impressive. Next year will mark the 50th anniversary of the arrival of the Ugandan Asians in the UK. Just imagine if they had heeded the advertisements placed by the then Leicester City Council in the Ugandan newspapers in 1972, warning those being expelled by Idi Amin not to come to Leicester. This city and our whole society would be so much poorer in every sense. As an example of just how embedded this Mandir has become in the civic life of Leicester, I recall that in 2018, when the local football club, Leicester City, suffered the terrible tragedy of losing its chairman in a helicopter crash, exactly 3 years ago yesterday, there were prayers held here in his memory, and a group representing the Mandir walked to the King Power Stadium to pay their respects. So everyone associated with this Mandir can rightly and truly be proud of this important anniversary milestone, and for your contribution to serving society, especially the people of Leicester. As the pandemic was unfolding last year, I often made the observation that a crisis doesn't create character, it reveals it. The way in which different parts of society have responded to the pandemic has been a live test of this insight. The impressive way in which faith communities have risen to the health and social challenges of COVID has revealed their true character. We can be proud that the Hindu community has been at the forefront of providing meals to frontline workers and supporting the elderly and vulnerable, and this mandir has again led the way with its legendary tiffin service, providing a lifeline to so many. And I'm also pleased that your facilities are being made available to administer vaccines in partnership with a local pharmacy. These are brilliant examples of our values in action, especially seva or selfless service, which is one of the most admired virtues amongst Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs. And earlier this year, the diaspora communities responded in an incredible way to India's oxygen emergency, raising millions of pounds and supplying critical life-saving equipment as part of the global humanitarian response. Again, this mandir stepped up to play its own role, sending 2 new ambulances to Rajkot for the free transportation of patients to hospital. So I take this opportunity to applaud all those from the British, Indian, and Hindu community who have gone over and beyond during the pandemic. They have shown a remarkable ability to adapt and an incredible spirit of resilience. But above all, they have shown the power of duty and service. The pandemic has also highlighted some deep-seated health inequalities experienced by ethnic minority communities across the UK, not least here in Leicester. We have Professor Sir Nilesh Samani with us today, and as Medical Director of the British Heart Foundation, there is no better person to elaborate on this topic. It is the disproportionate impact of certain health issues, especially on the South Asian population, which first triggered my own interest as a parliamentarian. And I'm pleased to be joined by some others here today, Baroness Verma and the MP for Leicester. And as I looked at the whole subject of organ donation, I realized that almost 30% of those waiting for a transplant are from the ethnic minority communities, twice their representation in the population. In particular, I felt it was important to understand and highlight the change in law from an opt-in system to opt-out. So, in advance of this legislation coming into force, I convened several meetings in Parliament to raise awareness amongst leaders of the British Indian community about organ donation, attended by health ministers and by NHS Blood and Transplant, which I'm pleased to see represented here today by its chair, John Patillo. In this endeavour, I was actively supported by Kirit Modi, a kidney transplant recipient and long-standing campaigner on organ donation. Kirit Bhai had planned to be with us today, but unfortunately he has contracted COVID and is currently recovering at home. I'm sure you will all join me in sending him our best wishes and prayers from this mandir for a speedy recovery. It won't surprise you that some of the most active engagement and support for the organ donation initiative came from Pramod Bhai and the team here in Leicester. With their valuable participation and the involvement of a range of other leading community organizations, we formed the Jain and Hindu Organ Donation Steering Group, known by its initials, JOD, chaired by Kirit Modi and working closely with NHS BT. And I'm also delighted to see other members of the JOD committee present here today. Over the past almost 3 years, JOD has done some amazing work in engaging all sections of the community and creating innovative content and communications to help inform and educate people about making decisions on organ donation and the importance of having an open discussion with their families. To give you one important statistic, when families are consulted about organ donation, the consent rate amongst British Asians is only 30% compared to 75% for white eligible donors. This results in longer waiting times for our community, and sadly, more lives are lost in the process. Today's opening of the Organ Donation Information Centre is therefore an important moment in taking forward the work of JOD by providing an institutional presence covering the whole of the Midlands region. I would like to thank everyone who has made this possible, and in doing so, it is appropriate to remember one of the active members of this mandir who sadly passed away last year, late Leelaben Keshavji. I know her husband Manoj Bhai is with us today. By all accounts, she was a remarkable lady who not only played an active role with her husband in the work of this mandir, but when she died, donated 5 of her organs and helped to save the lives of others. So today we also honor Lina Ben's memory through the opening of this Organ Donation Information Office. I'm confident that the work undertaken through this office will play an important role in helping to improve consent and organ donation rates and will increasingly help save lives in the future. I would like to end by making 2 other brief points. Firstly, a word about the future of this mandir for the next 25 years and beyond. We increasingly live in a digital age which requires a combination of both hardware and software to maximize impact. Extending this analogy to this mandir, it clearly benefits from excellent hardware in the form of physical buildings and surroundings. Where we do require a continuous investment is in the people and programs. That is why I am so encouraged by the efforts made by the trustees in developing the range of activities which you are undertaking, and also actively involving the next generation. Secondly, we will be celebrating Diwali next week. Unlike last year, when we faced a strict lockdown, we have the prospect of a more normal festive season celebrated with family and friends. So I take this opportunity in advance to offer my warmest greetings to everyone for a happy Diwali and healthy, peaceful and prosperous year ahead. Thank you again for the warmth of your welcome today and the opportunity to participate in these wonderful celebrations. I wish this Mandir and Community Centre continued success. May it scale new heights of both ambition and achievement in serving society and promoting the universal values of Jalaram Bapa and Virbai Ma. Thank you and Jai Jalaram.
As I said, Lord Jitesh, because of COVID, we don't have garlands this time, so except for Papa. Thank you. Jalaram! This will be other at one go, yeah?
Jalyan Mangalam, Virbai Mat Mangalam, जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम धाम वीरपुर मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम धाम वीरपुर मंगलम श्रीनेकटेक सत्य निवाधारी मंगलम श्री सदा व्रतधारी अवतारी मंगलम श्रीनेकटेक सत्य निवाधारी मंगलम श्री सदा व्रतधारी अवतारी मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम धाम वीरपुर मंगलम धाम वीरपुर मंगलम श्री पूरण पद अधिकारी महामानव मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई मात मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम श्री हरि मंगलम रघुनाथ मंगलम धाम वीरपुर मंगलम धाम वीरपुर मंगलम श्री मंगल मूरत छवि मनोहर मंगलम श्री जोड़ी धोको जाप अजंपा धारी मंगलम श्री मंगल मूरत छवि मनोहर मंगलम श्री जोड़ी धोको जाप अजंपा धारी मंगलम जलियाण मंगलम वीरबाई